El futuro. We use the future when we want to communicate what somebody will do. I will go, she will travel. With the future tense, we have one set of endings that are good for AR, ER, and IR verbs, and we're going to add the endings to the infinitive form. All of the forms are going to have an accent except for the nosotros form. The endings are as, a, hemos, and on. And again, we use those for AR, ER, and IR verbs. Some verbs are irregulars. A lot of the irregular verbs are verbs that are go verbs in the present tense. For example, salir, salgo, tener, tengo, venir, vengo. These verbs have irregular stems. What that means is rather than adding the infinitive, the ending to the infinitive, you would add the ending to the stem. So for example, if you wanted to say, I will set the table, pondré la mesa. I will tell the truth, diré la verdad. They will do their homework, harán la tarea. The uses of the future. We use the future when we want to say what will or will not happen. In hypothetical statements, also known as C clauses. The future of probability, where we're wondering or expressing a guess about the present tense. We're describing a future event in relation to a point of reference. When we use declarative verbs in the present tense, a declarative verb is simply a verb that makes a statement, like decir, declarar, anunciar, or responder. So el piloto anuncia que aterrizaremos pronto. The pilot announces that we will land soon. Some examples from the previous slide. Iré a las 2, I will go at 2. An example of a C clause. If the bus doesn't arrive, we will take a taxi. Si el autobús no llega, llega is the present indicative, tomaremos un taxi. Wondering about the present, I wonder what time it is, que hora será. There is no translation for I wonder. It's probably 3. Instead of son las 3, it is 3. We say serán las 3. Going right along with the future, we have the conditional. There are a lot of similarities between the future and the conditional. The future is what you will do. The conditional is what you would or would not do. I would go, she would go. Like the future, we're going to have one set of endings for AR, ER, and IR verbs, and we're going to add these to the infinitive. All of these forms are going to have an accent. For the verb hablar, we would have hablaría, hablarías, hablaría, hablaríamos, and hablarían. I would talk, you would talk, he would talk, we would talk, and they would talk. The irregulars in the conditional are the same exact irregular stems as those we use in the future. So for example, salir would go to salg. In the conditional, saldría, I would go out or I would leave. Ella pondría la mesa. She would set the table. The different uses of the conditional to say what we would or would not have done, also used in C clauses or hypothetical statements. Polite requests using the verb gustar, like me gustaría, poder, like podría, and deber, like deberías. Also, with the future, we did the future of probability, guessing about the present. With the conditional, it's the conditional of probability, where we guess about the past. And also with declarative verbs. With the future, if the declarative verb is in the present, we use the future. Because of sequence of tenses, if we put the declarative verb in the past, we must use the conditional. Some examples. Con más dinero, compraría más ropa. With more money, I would buy more clothes. An example of a C clause. Si tuviera más dinero, compraría un Rolex. If I had more money, I would buy a Rolex. An example of a polite request. Me gustaría alquilar un coche. Guessing about the past, I wonder what time it was. Que hora sería. Notice sería is in the conditional. Se anunció que el avión llegaría con retraso. So they announced that the plane would arrive late. And compare that to what we did with the future. You notice the verbs in blue. Anunció is the preterite, so we use the conditional, llegaría. Whereas in the second example, anuncia is in the present, so we use the future, llegará.